Well, good afternoon, guten Tag. It's a pleasure to be able to speak here this afternoon for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because just a few days ago, I'd completely lost my voice and I couldn't speak at all. So this is an improvement. My apologies to the event organisers for the stress this has undoubtedly caused them. Secondly, and more importantly, the changes we're seeing in technology and audience behaviours and the implications of these changes for our industry are timely issues that I think are going to shape the media industry for the next decade and beyond. Across Europe, we're moving towards an increasingly connected society. This will challenge and change audiovisual business models, public policy over the long term, as well as audience behaviours. Although we may not yet have become a fully converged society, now's a good time to reflect on a policy and regulatory framework that will support and enable the creation and availability of great digital content and promote effective competition, but will also ensure appropriate levels of protection and assurance from illegal and potentially harmful material. Today I will talk specifically about our experiences in the UK, and I look forward to hearing about how similar or different these are to your own experiences. And I'll cover three main areas: the changes in technology we're seeing, which you've had some demonstrations of already, how the audience behaviour is changing, and the implications of these changes for legislation and regulation. So firstly, a shameless plug for Ofcom's Communication Market Report. We publish this each year, and it's a detailed look at key developments across the sectors we regulate. Much of what I'm going to talk about today is based on this, the information contained within this report, and it's available to download on our website. So, I'm going to start with a brief UK history lesson. Our current system of broadcast regulation began life in the analogue era. An age of 1 or 2, maybe 3 channels if you were lucky. One living room, one TV in the living room, and nothing much on at all after midnight or before breakfast, or frankly during much of the day. As late as 1972, total British television output was capped by law to 9,900 hours per year across BBC One, BBC Two and ITV. If you wanted audio-visual content, which we just used to call television, then scheduled linear telly was your only option. In this world of scarcity, first the BBC, quickly followed by ITV, then Channel 4 in the 1980s and Channel 5 in the 1990s, provided a wide range of high-quality UK and EU-produced content that met public policy goals. In the UK, we have, both historically and currently, a system that is funded in a range of ways. The BBC is publicly owned and funded publicly through a licence fee of around £140 a year per household. Channel 4 is also publicly owned, but receives no public money, instead funding itself through commercials. ITV and Channel 5 are commercial companies that deliver certain PSB obligations, such as national and regional news, current affairs, in exchange for a set of benefits. This might be EPG prominence, which is pertinent to the conversation today, or access to spectrum. These public service broadcasters, or PSBs as they are known, have provided important programming. And traditionally they are watched by very, very large audiences, millions and millions of people every day. This simple, static environment began to change radically from the 1980s onwards, through firstly the advent of multi-channel television, platforms such as satellite from B-Sky B and digital terrestrial television from Freeview offered far more choice to audiences. This led to an increasing number of televisions in people's homes, in kitchens, bedrooms, children's bedrooms, and I guess something of a breakdown in traditional family viewing as people watch different programmes in different places. This pace of change continued and indeed increased via the introduction of video on demand, catch-up viewing, and then exploding with the phenomenon of mobile connectivity. The number of channels and the range and volume of content has expanded exponentially. Today, Ofcom licenses over 2,000 broadcast services, many of which broadcast 24 hours a day. In moving from TV aimed at mass appeal and almost exclusively in the medium of English to a diverse, often niche, multi-channel, multilingual environment, the regulator's task has inevitably shifted. And this has put some pressure on the PSB system that I described to you. Some of the benefits, particularly access to spectrum, have become less valuable as scarcity of spectrum has decreased. And as audiences have chosen to watch a greater range of channels, so the advertising revenues of the PSBs has also been hit, and the BBC is currently operating to a frozen licence fee settlement. In contrast, the market is doing and investing more.